Hey everyone, it's me, Elizabeth Maria, and this is Intuitive Tuesdays with Elizabeth Maria. I am so happy to be. Okay, it just said that it was trying to reconnect. I'm just gonna light some incense. I'm hoping that you guys can hear my Tibetan bowls in the background. A little bit of sound healing to get us in balance for the night. Thank you, Source. Thank you, God. Thank you to all my guides for allowing me to be here tonight, to be of service. Thank you. Please clear the energy. Only allow what is of the best of our highest selves to come through. Thank you. So I'm really happy to be here tonight. Just a little bit about me. My name is Elizabeth Maria. I'm a writer. I offer food justice advocacy, and I also offer intuitive guidance. Right now, my intuitive guidance sessions, I am calling them spiritual activation sessions, and they are basically, I'm sorry, like someone was texting me, so I was like, what's happening? Technology, But basically, so my offerings right now, and I'll put some posts out about them too. A spiritual activation session is going to combine some of the healing and spiritual modalities that I have personally been using now to help. Hey, Erica, yay, glad you figured it out. Woo, 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 glad to see you. So anyways, spiritual activation sessions, they include sound healing, your chakras. I use divination tools such as angel cards, and also, of course, my trusty tarot. And it's also, just a way for you and me to come together to help, make some forward momentum in your life. However I can be of service to guide you in that way. So definitely, hey Grant, yay, so glad you're here, so glad you're here. So definitely do check out my website to learn more about me and my offerings. You can also just shoot me an email, whatever. I'm very accessible. I am here to guide. I don't even know if I like the term help, but just, I just do me, man. And, if it guides and it, guides you in the right direction, hopefully, then, then awesome. So tonight's topic, psychotic break or spiritual awakening. I've been thinking about this topic a lot, especially since the beginning of my accelerated spiritual awakening, and I guess it's kind of like a potato thing. I really think that I'm going to turn this down. I don't know if you guys can hear it. Can you hear it? Like, I'm kind of going crazy with the bells. But anyways, so this is, first off, just as a, disclaimer, my background is in English literature. I have studied herbology. I've studied writing. I have studied from an insider and outsider view the mental health system in America. I've been a part of it since I was very little, and I have watched the evolution of how we categorize those that maybe don't fit into the boxes that we say they should fit into. Anyway, so there's all that background. I've also been on a very conscious healing journey, I would say since my early 20s. And the accelerated part of this spiritual journey began in 2019 for me, which, and I will say that basically how I feel about it is that the difference between the two, and I would love to hear what you guys, so, please chime in the comments. I'll definitely try to keep up and read. So the difference is, okay, so, if we're looking at mental health from a 3D perspective, then when someone steps out of the prescribed system that we have all agreed is reality, then that person could be perceived as having a break, a psychotic break, which is basically a break from, the structural system, from the reality that we all agree on, right? Whereas, that same person operating from, in these terms, 3D, 5D, it's all about just energy vibration, right? Because we are all energy, right? So if that same person, if their energy is vibrating at a more fifth dimensional level, then that break from reality is, referred to as, the beginnings of a spiritual awakening. I also believe that, and I really, I've been having a hard time with the concepts of high frequency versus low frequency, or low vibe versus high vibe. I like to look at it more as, a wave, right? A spectrum, and that in any given moment that we are operating on any, part of the spectrum. So, it's not necessarily, there's no good or bad in it, it's just experience. And so, if an individual is operating in some, I'll say, negatively oriented frequencies, then the break that they experience from this reality can be a very scary, demonic kind of break. Whereas if the individual's frequencies are more aligning to a more healthy kind of frequency, then this break from reality can be, seen as a beautiful thing, right? I mean, just if you're thinking about, it's like the mind coming out of the body, right? It's almost like a momentary separation where the individual spirit can rise above and begin to see from a bird's eye view. It can be a really scary, scary, scary process. And it also, so individually, I believe that the difference is based on where we're vibrating at. And then collectively, I believe that it depends on the exterior, the environment. So I studied social work at Florida State University, and one of the terms that we learned there was person and environment. Hey, Rebecca, yay, so glad you chimed in tonight. So from a person and environment perspective, our environment, our culture, our family, our friends, all of that helps shape our understanding of what reality is, right? And so from a person and environment perspective, if the individual has detached from the self, has risen above, and is beginning to become aware of the system from an observational standpoint, and that kind of development is supported in a loving way, then those are the seeds of spiritual awakening, of evolving of the self. But that same person can have the exact same experience in an environment that does not foster that kind of inner evolutionary growth, and they are going to be labeled psychotic and shut away. I know this from personal experience, okay? So, so it's twofold. So one, it's individually where you're vibrating at and, internally, but it also, the environment has an effect on it as well. Yay, hey, Rebecca, I have 2 Rebeccas on tonight. Whoop, whoop, I love it. You know what, guys? Yeah, so I just need to pause for a second and say that, a lot when I was doing these before, I wrote out a lot of notes. I was really coming from the position of being a lecturer, and so I've really been shifting into allowing these lives just to be totally off the cuff, if you will, with, between me and all of you guys. So, please chime in. I hope that you have some opinions on this. I'm sure you'll be chiming in right now. So that internal, basically like what you believe you're going through is what you're going through, but also the exterior, do you have that support? Because, the only constant in this world is change, right? And like every being, everything in this world, we're all evolving. And so, I believe that the separation between, is what you're going through considered a psychotic break, or are you beginning to open up and evolve in a more spiritual way? I really believe that it is, one, it is based on what you believe is happening. Two, it is based on how the type of environment and the type of fostering that you have while you're going through these changes, mind, body, spirit. For me personally, this has been a long, hard journey, guys. I mean, I'll say like this break that I had several years ago, I just went straight off. I mean, just like jumped off the edge into the abyss. Since that period, I have been able to, kind of come back on, and I've started to be able to really balance these two different realities, because honestly, I feel like once someone begins to open up and evolve, that, it's a straddling, it's almost a balance, right? Like we have these, not high, the more have these third dimensional vibrations. So it almost becomes like a balancing game, as you go through your days, your weeks, your years, you learn how to, how to ground your energy, right? And so, this is a huge one. So one of the things that I have done to help me to straddle these energies, is I've really gotten into sound healing. I usually have my bowl here, and it's just wonderful because, if you break it down to just, the basics, protons, neutrons, whatever, we are energy, we are frequency. And so for me, the sounds, like if I get into a place in my head where I don't want to be, I just put on some sound healing music and it totally chills me out. So definitely any type of healing modality, spiritual healing modality, sound healing, grounding, literally just means like go outside, take your shoes off, put your feet on the ground, that helps, because if you think about it, we are like conduits, right? I mean, we're kind of like the in-between vessel between, the spirit and the earth, right? And so grounding is a way for our energy just to, calm it down. And, okay, so let's see. What do we have? Grounding. We have any kind of spiritual healing modality. I'm really into sound healing. I also do yoga. That helps, and meditation. Now, I'll tell you that everyone does their own meditation, their own way. And a lot of people get turned off because like the whole idea of just like sitting is really hard for people, especially if you guys have gone through a lot of shit in your lives. And I know I have, and it is very hard for me to sit still. And so what I do is more of a movement meditation. I just pull my mat out. I do like my stretches. I do kind of like, honestly, like kind of a weird combination of like ballet and like booty dancing and freaking like some, I don't even know like what. It's my own thing, you know, it's my own thing. But it takes me where I need to go in such a beautiful way, and it gets me connected back to my body, you know, through that kind of somatic experiencing, like, you know, just kind of like the tapping ideas, right? I mean, there's just so many tools that you can use. Also just talking about it, but not to everyone. I love like Stevie Nicks' advice: keep your visions to yourself, people. Know your environment, right? So if you're hanging out with your more, and I mean, these terms are so like, I don't know, kind of like cliche and kind of loaded right now. But if you're hanging out with more of your 3D friends, you know, now that's probably not the time to talk about your, you know, fairy spirit guy that came to you last night, you know. Maybe that's not the right audience, you know. So definitely know your audience. Unless you're like me. I'm like, fuck the dumb shit. I don't care. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to descend into giants, motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll just let it all hang out. But I will say that it can be a lot less traumatic and a more titrated way, right? Remember that we are all operating from our own level of consciousness, right? It doesn't mean that someone else's level of consciousness and your level, you know, that we're higher or lower. I mean, it doesn't matter, because we are all here to have experiences, right? And so, you know, if someone, and I keep on using this as an example for some reason, maybe because I really wanted to sit in a meadow and pick grass for like 20 years, I don't know. But if someone's calling here is to sit and pick grass for 20 years, that is just as an important mission as someone who is here to, you know, lead the new earth or whatever. It doesn't matter. It's all experience, right? And so, you know, and really seeing that, and, you know, really seeing that and learning that everything is experience, it helps us, at least it helps me, to not have an attachment to what it is that, you know, that I am experiencing, if that makes sense. Like, I can pull away from it and again look at it from a more observational standpoint. And I encourage you all, and I might be just like all over the place right now, maybe I'm like making some type of linear some linear ideas, throwing them out there. This is what the psychotic break looks like, guys. But anyways, yeah, so, you know, finding your tribe, right now I have 3 people that I can talk to about anything. And I mean, when I'm talking spiritual awakening, anything, I'm talking about, you know, higher dimensional, interdimensional beings. I mean, all kinds of stuff that, honestly, if you're not on that same kind of conscious vibe, what you're probably hearing me say right now is wah, 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 which is fine too, because whatever you're ready for. But, you know, finding people that you are on the same vibrational level with. Oh God, it is such a blessing to be able to talk with someone and without thinking, you know, or without them thinking that you're crazy. And not that, you know, and that's another whole freaking, and I guess that was 2 weeks ago, the I don't give a fuck what my neighbors think anymore, you know. I mean, I'm like literally outside, like howling at the moon and bringing my full moon, you know, water jug, like to cleanse my crystals and shit, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it is what it is, guys. It is what it is. Let's see. I think I want to go back to this what I was talking about, to jump off the edge or to shift energies in a more titrated fashion. My Leo energy, I just jumped the hell off into the abyss of the fifth dimensional, running around with freaking giants and fairies and like, oh my God. And this is, look, guys, this is not, look, I've had some psychedelic experiences as well, but that's not what I'm talking about here. So just in case you're thinking, damn, what the fuck is she on right now? I am on spirituality, guys. Anyways, yeah, so if you think about the more titrated way, again, it's becoming aware of your environment, knowing that, not the lower energetic, but the more, systematic, that term matrix or whatever, our system, like when we are operating within that system, knowing it, keeping it within that, knowing and using discernment to know what level of consciousness the individual that you're interacting with is on, right? And keep the conversation at that level. That can help you not get 1013, okay? So certain people, maybe don't talk to about, your starseed revelations. And that's okay. And it's not to say, and hey, this is also my opinion and through my experience. So, I would love to hear, what other people think. I've just learned that, I don't tell everyone everything. And it's not about what, my concern about what they think about me, but it's, like my life and who I am, it's a privilege. It's a privilege to get to know me, right? So, and until I feel safe and secure, then, there's certain information that I'm not going to disclose, because you haven't earned the right yet, right? So from that perspective, that can be a way to safeguard yourself while you're going through some of these evolutionary shifts. Find your tribe, ground, any type of, like I said, spiritual healing modalities. Those are all different ways that, that I have been using to kind of balance these two realities right now. As we move forward, I got my Selena, I'm all into my crystals. As we move forward in this world, it's going to be harder, honestly, to go back and forth between the frequencies, between the matrix system. And, ooh, my gosh, guys, these cards are giving me chills. I was going to pull one of these when I first started. These are my angel prayer cards. I was going to pull one to kind of guide this conversation, and then I didn't. And now I just picked them up and woo, thank you, energy. Oh, I love it. This is why I do this. Okay, I'm just going to pull one. Okay. I always ask anytime I'm using any type of divination tool, just to all of my guides just only show me what is at my highest good for myself and my progress, and to protect us from any type of vibes that do not have my best interest at heart. Okay, let's see which angel card we have for guiding this. Oh, I love it, guys. I just love it. Look what we have tonight. The Peaceful Warrior. And oh my God, it's so perfect because, I was actually thinking about it today, at least for me, like, I don't necessarily consider myself a pacifist, because I'm going to defend myself, but I also don't necessarily consider myself like, I'm not ever interested in going out and trying to agitate anything, right? But, so this is perfect. Let's read what it has to say. Oh, and God, I just love my God and I love my universe, because this is on page 74, and this is like my crazy right here. Like, it's on page 74, and I was born in 74, and it's the Peaceful Warrior, and she has a big afro. What? Okay, so let's see what it has to say. Okay, so this is for the guiding of this conversation. Again, what's going on with the world? Psychotic break. So for the Oh, hey, Alicia. Yay. I'm so glad. I hope that I make you guys laugh. I am what I am. I am what I am, motherfuckers. Okay, so the peaceful warrior. The angels want you to know that you are a warrior soul and that your heart is so pure and light-filled that you desire only peace for yourself and those around you. You may find your peace being challenged, and ain't that the truth, guy? I mean, my God, like the world is a freaking shit show out there. The peace is being challenged. However, be unsure. Wait, let me see. You may find the peace being challenged, however, and being unsure how to react. You are being called upon by Archangel Ariel and the angels to know that there is true strength in holding things together and sending everyone around you, especially the challengers, right? Because there's always going to be mofos out there some people enjoy trying to push buttons and get you to react to things, right? The challengers. So all of these people, and this is perfect, especially for the topic for tonight, give them peaceful thoughts and blessings, right? And that's what you do, they throw shade. We love them anyways, love the demons, love all of the experiences. My God, it's so hard, but do it anyways, even if it is freaking hard. Look, guys, like if I'm still here, like walking and talking, then any of you motherfuckers can do it, because Lord knows I have had quite an adventure in this earth plane. Just a little bit about Archangel Ariel. Ariel's name means lioness of God. I can't make this shit up. I should have picked this card. Actually, there's no I'm not going to shoulda on my live. This is perfect, because I'm a Leo. So this is all about, I hope that there's some other Leos in the house right here. Leos in the house. And so this is a true warrior spirited angel. And see, so one of my spirit guides is Oya. I'm really interested in the strong women. And they will bless and create just like beautiful worlds, but don't fuck with them, okay? A lot of my spirit guides, I'm really more like Gandalf the Grey than I am like Glinda the White. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, come on, I wish a motherfucker would. You know what I mean? So I'm all about some warrior spirited angel who has a strong connection to the animal realm. She is here to help us have peace in our heart with regard to other people and with animals too. And it was really cool because, oh yay, awesome Rebecca, yes. Yes, I'm like, it just hit me, Leo, So she helps us look after those we love and find the strength to keep things going when times are challenging. Wow. Ooh, I just got a beautiful chill with that. Come on, guys. $10 eggs. What the fuckity fuck? I can't even. She brings to you today the courage and the poise of a lion. Rah! I love it. Yes. Archangel Ariel's my lady today. Thank you. Okay, yeah. So, going back to this topic, I don't know, what do you guys think? Is it the same concept of, your glass is half full or half empty? Like, having a psychotic break, is that, when you're in the Matrix and then, when you're running around in the woods with your 5D friends, you're having spiritual awakening? I don't know. Definitely comment. I will definitely respond to y'all's opinions on this because, and then I mean, I use humor in a lot of inappropriate times to deal with my own shit, so, but I am not trying to, on any level, take away from the severity of what is happening with our mental health in this country. And that's actually why I wanted to talk about this tonight, because it's just pretty much out of control. And there needs to be new ways of looking at it. And I believe that instead of looking at the medical side of things as the one way and the only way, that our system needs to open up to explore this integrative mind, body, spirit connection, right? It's like right now, it's almost like, everything's so separated, right? We are not just mind, we are not just body, we are not just spirit, we're all three, right? So it just doesn't make sense to me that our mental health system here is focusing just on the mind instead of mind, body, and spirit. And so that is why, again, I feel that as we move forward, that we're going to see more and more and more emphasis on spiritual. And I don't, and I know some people, that's even like kind of a trigger word. I don't, but just more, let's say integrative, mind, body, spirit, right? And it can, because all three are a part of it. So I call my transition, and I mean, from an outsider view, guys, like, I was a university lecturer for, okay, so what I was saying was that I was a university lecturer for close to a decade, and now I'm like traveling around the country I'm doing a lot of stuff, and I'm not going to diminish my value by saying I'm just traveling around the country doing tarot, but I've made a pretty dramatic shift. So maybe from the outside, maybe some people think I'm psychotic. I don't give a shit. But then from another perspective, it's a spiritual awakening. We don't know what other people's journeys are. And so my view is to focus on, I am a perpetual optimist, and I believe in love. And so from my perspective, most people, not even most, everyone is evolving. And so we can call it, human evolution. We can call it spiritual awakening. We can call it, because like the psychotic break is it's a break from what we think this reality is. And our systematic reality is what we consider the matrix, which is a man-made concept, right? Like what is real is just rocks and trees and leaves and blah, blah, blah. Like the system that's created, the numbers that we were given at birth, that's a system, right? That's a thought created system. And so when you have a break from that system, a psychotic break, all that really means is a rising above the system and beginning to see it for what it is. That's all I'm going to say about that tonight. And I would love to hear what you guys think about my opinions on what we like to call, honestly, I could go on and on and on about it. I honestly, I believe that labels in general are a disservice, and any type of mental health, anything that starts with dis is a disservice to the individual who has been labeled. So, yeah. But there's all steps and there's all degrees, and what works for some people isn't going to work for others. What I encourage everyone to do is, whatever. If your path is to jump off the bridge like I did, I quit my job. I had no freaking plan. I moved. It was like Crazyville, and I ended up having to walk through a lot of fucking shit, The titrated method, I think, is, I wouldn't say smarter, but, it's a little bit more strategic. And so if you are an individual that feels that, something just ain't right, right? You're starting to feel and maybe hear or, see things that, or just, things are starting to just, or maybe it's just a clicking in place of things, but you just need a little bit more clarity. I would love to talk further. Again, I do have my one-on-one spiritual activation sessions, and this is just the type of, kind of like looking at these dichotomies in our life that we'll focus on and moving from a more limiting view of you to a more expansive view. So I'm gonna end tonight because I think I'm kind of babbling and I'm getting hungry, and I'm on this intermittent diet bullshit thing, fasting thing, and so I'm supposed to not eat after 9, but that is not gonna happen tonight, man, because let me tell you, I have been freaking craving fucking De Palma's what is it, the apple walnut salad. I love that damn salad so much. Anyways, okay, so let me get grounded. I need to ground myself. Let's do let's just do. Thank you, Great Spirit. Thank you, Great Spirit. Okay, so I'm going to end this discussion tonight, a 3-card collective reading. As always, I use my copper bracelet right here. I got this bracelet in Asheville, and it's a wonderful conduit in any kind of copper. So if you're new with divination tools using copper, I also use my labradorite here to cleanse my cards when I'm not using them, and it's also wrapped in copper. Just because you want to keep the energy, at least you want to keep the energy neutral. Okay. Whew. So for these collective readings, this is not an individual reading. I am pulling in the energy from the collective. That means the people that are watching. That means the energy that is around me that I am aligning with. And so the way that I read these cards, because everyone does it different, is I'll pull 3. The first card will be the energy that we're moving out of. The second card will be the energy that we're in right now, and the third card will be the energy that we are moving into. It can also contain sometimes some action steps of what we need to do to get to where we want to go. Thank you, cards. Thank you for showing me what I need to see, not what I want to see. Help me to connect. Oh, these all just came out. Okay, let's see what's happening. And help me to connect. 1, and then 2. Okay, I felt it. And it's so cool because sometimes things will just jump out at me and I'm like, okay, I know those are the right cards. But then sometimes, especially with these lives, I get a little nervous. I'm like, what if none of it turns out how I want it? But then it always does, because everything is perfect and as it should be. And we are all exactly where we're supposed to be in this now moment. Okay, so let's get into it. So and you know what? I'm gonna use my big book. So what I do when I'm interpreting is I start with the book, and then I just kind of whatever my intuition tells me to talk about it, I just kind of start talking about it. Okay, so this is the energy, and this is a beautiful energy right here. We have the 2 of Cups associated with the number 2. I've been seeing 222 everywhere. This is about love and partnership, old and new, okay? So the 2 of Cups represents harmony, peace, and love. It represents commitment to an existing relationship, moving in together, or getting married, right? So there's like a direct, great connection between. So for those of you that are watching, this is all about, this is some kind of relationship. So this is, again, either a new relationship that's coming in or with an existing relationship, moving forward to the next level, guys. Let's see. If friendships have been difficult, it says that the Two of Cups shows harmony is returning. And, that makes sense because, listen, guys, Mercury just went out of retrograde. I think it was like last week. And right now, all of our planets are direct through March. So it's like perfect timing for anything, with relationships, business, of moving to the next level, and moving forward with this momentum, right? So this energy is all about like resolution, coming together, just beautiful. And that's just excellent for the energy that we're in, that we're kind of coming out of. Okay. Ooh, I just got chills with that. Thank you, Great Spirit. Thank you. Woohoo. Okay, so for our second card, and I'm just finding it in here. Thanks, Mom, for this book. I love it. And I've actually learned so much more. Because, like the way that I use tarot, I just kind of go like off the cuff. I don't necessarily follow, the prescribed script. Go figure, like I do that with anything in my freaking life. But okay, guys, look at this. Woohoo! We have the Star. And so look how beautiful. She's by the water. This is all about strength, right? This is the astrological sign of Aquarius. We're about to move into the new moon of Aquarius this week, guys. Is it tonight? I think it might be tonight. I think it's tonight. So this is perfect. This is the Star. And so the Star is all about hope and guidance, right? So if there's been difficulties in your life, know that the Star is guiding you. It's a powerful symbol, right? So right now we have, this is the time to move forward, to, come together in either a new relationship. And really, I'm feeling this is not necessarily, it could be, but this is relationships in general, coming together, reconciliation, moving to the next step. And then we have the Star, the energy that we're in right now. This is, forward momentum, right? With the home, this is all about creating beauty and style in your home. It's a great time for like projects and stuff, right? With relationship, this is destiny. The Star is moving you towards, and so definitely there is, relationship energy. So for those of you that are in a new relationship, this is some good solid signs right here. This is all about, the universe telling you that it's time for you to find your partner, your soulmate, your split apart. So then moving in, our last card for this week is going to be the Seven of Swords. And this is an interesting, this is Moon in Aquarius. And once again, this week is new moon in Aquarius. So this is all about endurance, instinct, and desire, okay? So traditionally, this card is about protecting your belongings and your property, okay? In general, we can think of this as potential transgression. You may encounter a challenge in your position, an individual invading your space. Or with relationships, possibly a selfish partner. Now, what I want you to consider when you're thinking of partnership is that we are also, all of us, going through a pretty, crazy spiritual awakening right now. And so you are going to be dealing with people that are on different stages of their shadow work, right? And so that selfishness, you might see that coming, okay? And so let's see what else with this. The number 7. And so the number 7 is a wonderful mystical number. I'm going to look it up in here and see what it has to say about the 7 of Swords as well. And so basically what I'm feeling is like that this card is telling us definitely to use discernment with these with these other cards, right? With these other cards, like definitely there is a coming together. There is and it's a good, positive, beautiful, forward momentum connection here. But with the 7 of Swords, this is all about, prioritizing, knowing what's important to you, not getting lost in any new connections with people, right? Knowing what you need, okay? Even if this means that you have to, you have to let other people down. You got to freaking put the oxygen mask on yourself first, okay? And then let's see what else it says. Selfish partner defrauds you, and the suit of swords reflects the intellect. You'll need your instincts and your wits. And so basically I feel like this card is, for action steps, I would say that it's to use your discernment, okay? Take your time with this. Okay, it's beautiful. There's a union. The universe wants this togetherness. The star is blessing this, but use your discernment because we are all in various stages of our evolution, and you can love someone, as a friend or in any other capacity, but they may not be always vibing at your level, right? And so use discernment with interacting at all times with this individual, and find empathy and know that we are all on our own journey, right? Give space. And this is so cliche to say, but Rome wasn't built in a day, so just take your time, right? One of my posts, what was it, last week, about, if you're feeling a feeling of urgency, then that's the devil, y'all. So we want to flow. We want to flow. And so this reading is, it's a beautiful reading, it's coming together. The star is guiding. Just slow it down. Take care of yourself. Use discernment. Don't take things too seriously, and don't take things personal. Know that we're all on our own individual, evolution, and we're all on our own time schedule with that. So, if your partner is a little lagging behind a little, or you think that your partner is lagging behind a little bit, no, he or she is exactly where they're supposed to be. So empathy, love with boundaries. Love with boundaries. Love. That's it for tonight, y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you next week. So much love. I can't wait to read all these comments, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.